Oh, hello, darkness, our old friend. We've come to talk to you again. What's up, everybody? I'm Ivan Vargas. Welcome back to another Bear Show. Another week down and another depressing loss for the Chicago Bears. They lose to the Minnesota Vikings, 19-13 Sunday, over out on the lakefront. From the jump, and I've said this before. I was baffled by what they were doing. I was very confused by what they were doing, and it just was killing me every time I would see Justin Fields try to go on these design runs. But nonetheless, let me go ahead and stop. Welcome to another Bears Show. Make sure you go ahead and like, share, and subscribe to the show. Make sure you go ahead and check us out at www.thetapeneverlies.com. Become a patron. Get all that extra stuff that we're able to give you over there with DDP's breakdowns. You'll get more Bears news. You'll get more pop-up shows and stuff like that. So make sure you check it out. It's not, what is it? It's about a cup of coffee. Maybe it's less than a gallon of gas, at least for now. But anyway, welcome back to the show. Like I said, Bears lose again. It was a frustrating loss after a couple of weeks of progression. Legit progression, I would say, with that offense. It just seemed like they just wanted, or the game plan was to go back and try things that weren't working earlier in the season. And it felt force fed. It felt very, I mentioned before, Matt Nagy-esque. I wasn't comfortable with any part of what the offense was doing on Sunday. It all seemed like a shit show. The defense, on the other hand, you had a very good performance. I felt like they controlled Minnesota for the most part. They kept Kirk Cousins under 200 yards passing. He did have a touchdown. They kept the run game in check. And I mean, granted, the run game has been in check the entire year for the Minnesota Vikings, whether it be by themselves or, with opposing defenses just stopping them. Although they tried to run Alexander Madison about 18 times, which is a little more than usual. I think they tried to take advantage of the Bears, maybe catch them off guard, get some big games out of it. But it just wasn't working. The Bears were prepared for it. The Bears shut it down. It was non-existent. And, like I said before, it took me back. Watching that game took me back. It's like, man, this defense is doing its job. Why can't the offense do anything? And that's been the story for, God knows how long. What is it going on now? 50 years. You know what I'm saying? It's been too much where we're talking about how the defense is, excelling and the offense isn't. And I thought the offense was going to be able to carry over some of the success that they had against the Broncos, although it was a loss, against the Washington football team, Commanders, whatever you want to call them. I thought that was going to carry over, but it was the defense that really took a step up. And, with all the injuries, with how we've criticized them so much, I feel like a young defense has been the ones to really answer some of the calls here in recent weeks. You know what I'm saying? They're not great. Trust me, they're not great. But and it would have probably been a different story. Maybe it would have been a little bit of a different story if they had Justin Jefferson. I would have loved to seen that. But you have to give credit where credit's due. They did their damn job on Sunday, and the offense, for the millionth time, wasn't there. And I want to go ahead and talk about Justin Fields in a second. We all know what happened, but I don't understand why Luke Getsy went back, and it seemed like he reverted to old ways. He stood away from the run, although the run, and I believe it was in that second drive. Let me go look this up. I'm gonna have to look this back up. Yeah, that second drive, you had a 16-play drive, and you ran the football. And granted, I when I'm talking about running the ball, I want the ball run by the running backs. You have a plethora of running backs in that backfield. I know I know some of them are hurt, but you got a guy in Donta Foreman that was damn near, was he 1,000-yard rusher last year? I mean, he was pretty much the bell cow for the Carolina Panthers last year. He could run well. Has been a healthy scratch for the past 4 weeks before this week. Why? I don't know. Why not use him a little bit more? And I mentioned last week as well, 25 rushes plus for the running backs is kind of where I want that to be. The design runs for Justin are kind of irking me just because I feel like they're poorly designed. And I feel like Justin, is Justin should be right at this point. We know he could run. He's being spied on. Don't force that. Allow him to go ahead and try to create with in the passing game. Don't go ahead and say, hey, Justin, we're going to go ahead and take this opportunity to go ahead and run a sweep that hasn't been working. Like you have a spy on him, and then as soon as they read it, they're right on Justin's ass. It's been that way for the past 6 weeks now, and it's frustrating to see it. Justin gets hurt. Justin gets hurt. Granted, he's trying to make a play, but those are the types of things that worry me. It's like, are you trying to go ahead and force him to be this running quarterback? And in certain situations, or is this who you want him to be? Is this was just a game plan for this week, or is this who you want Justin Fields to be? Because I don't think that's the way that you should be coaching Justin Fields as of right now. I mentioned it before. I don't want him to be Lamar Jackson. I don't want this to be that type of offense. I don't think it can be that type of offense. When you came in here, what was the story about this team? What was the story about Luke Getsy? What were they preaching about? They were talking about running the football, play action, and then when Justin can, then they'll use his abilities. I don't want them to try to force Justin to do everything. And I feel like in the running game this past week, they tried to force him to do everything. I'd rather it come natural to Justin. If the play breaks down, then go ahead and use your athleticism. Let the running backs run. Let the running backs run. You could see, like, I understand Tyson Bagent is a fan favorite. I understand that, he looked pretty decent. He looked okay when he did have success. When he didn't have success, it was like, what the fuck is this, dude? And honest to God, I really believe that if you want to get the full scope of what Justin Fields is, you need to see what he can do in the passing game. We already saw what he can do in the running game last year. That's done. We need to see what he could do in the passing game. I feel like if you could go ahead and utilize that 12 formation, like they even asked the 12 personnel. They even asked them last week, hey, Matt, you've been utilizing 12 personnel a lot more, and is that contributed to your success? I mean, he didn't want to say it, but yes, coach, that's part of it. That's part of it. Max, it's you could pretty much max protect out of that. You even use go to 21 if you want. Use both running backs. You could protect Justin in a way where he feels more comfortable in the pocket, through those formations. On top of that, you could run the ball up the gut and really wear down a defense. You could run the ball off tackle like we thought they were going to do as an offense, and it just hasn't been. 7 rushes on that second drive. It was impressive, and they had 10 rushes total in the half. That was it. That's not what to me that's not enough. To me, that's not enough. 15 plus, really try to wear down that defensive line, really try to beat up that blitz. They're going to have to start playing honest. They were blitzing all day. They're going to have to start blitzing or playing honest and bringing those guys back. Donta Foreman was running like a man possessed. I felt like at certain times, it felt like he got angry. It felt like I felt like he was angry because of the way he was being utilized, and I was angry at the way he's been utilized because he hasn't been there. And then you see him run, you see him go boom, one tackle, one tackle, breaks another tackle, gets 5 yards, gets 7 yards, gets 9 yards. Why isn't that a theme? Why is it always like, okay, we're doing this, and then all of a sudden it's like we have to go back to what Luke Getsy wants to do, or what this offense, is quote unquote supposed to be. And to me, that's bullshit. To me, that's Matt Nagy. All right, we find some success doing one thing. Now we got to go right back to the shit that wasn't working. it confuses me. It really makes me angry as a Bears fan. It's like you have to establish an identity, and if the identity is your running backs, your what will they have 5 now? I don't know if they're gonna. I don't know who they're gonna keep when guys come back. But you're gonna have to answer to that. Like those guys you brought here for a reason. Utilize those guys. There's no reason we shouldn't be using those guys at about 25 to 30 times a game. Plus, if you have to, it helps Justin Fields. It protects this offensive line, and you have the talent in that backfield to really, really hit home runs. I think Khalil Herbert was on his way to really shining before he got hurt. Now, that's another question with Khalil, in my opinion, if he's going to be physical enough or healthy enough to stay that main guy. But that's why you got Roshan Johnson, right? Well, he went down. Okay, that's why you had Donta Foreman, right? Well, you had him sitting for 4 weeks. There's a lot of questions I have that's going on with personnel usage on this team. We want to point blame at Ryan Poles. A lot of people want to point blame at Ryan Poles, and I think he deserves to an extent some of it. But why is it that you paid a guy who we all thought was going to be a major part of this offense just to scratch him for 4 weeks, and then when he gets his opportunity, you use him. You use him like he was scarcely used. He did have 60-something yards. What was it? I'm sorry. Let me go back. Got the Foreman. He had 65 yards, 50 carries, 65 yards, 4.33 yards per carry. Keep going. Keep going. Play action is coming soon. If you would just make them what you work off of, the running backs. Make the running backs what you work off of. I guarantee the passing game is going to find success. It's going to find, so you're going to start hitting on these play actions. Justin's going to start feeling a little bit more comfortable. You're going to start getting momentum as a football team together. It's just something that makes too much sense in my opinion. I don't know about how you guys feel. Let me know what you guys feel. How you guys feel in the comments. I'll try to get to all of them. Like I said, Jacko's under the weather, so I'm trying to go ahead and give you guys some opinion and put you guys out there, give you guys a shout out, let you guys shine on the screen with your questions. Just bear with me, if you will. But moving forward, it was a winnable game. It was a very winnable game. Justin obviously hurt, and he's not exempt from any type of criticism. There was open guys. Again, there was open people right away. There was a player open right away in the short game. In Justin's mind, I feel like maybe he thought, all right, today's the day we're going to go big, like 400 yards. And he just started focusing on the big play. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's just me, just speculating. Obviously, it's me speculating, but maybe I'm just a little bit, in favor of Justin. But the fact is that those need to be hit. Those need to be hit. Period. You're gonna end up on another football team in a year if those aren't made. If you can't find a way to pick up rhythm, to gain rhythm, and have consistent games. I'm talking consistent performances. 1-2 weeks, that's nice. I need you to do it for 5-6 weeks. I need you to do it for, I need to see this more and more and more and more. And we didn't get to see that. And we saw a regression. And I felt like the regression was because of the game plan. And it didn't benefit either quarterback. I would say it didn't benefit Justin, and it didn't benefit Tyson Bagent as well. You knew what these guys were going to do. I felt like if they were going to attack you with the blitz, you should just go ahead and really, hat on hat, run right at them, challenge them. and they didn't challenge him. It didn't challenge him enough, at least. So for me, it's going to come down. I don't know how long he'll be out. They were talking about waiting until the swelling went down to really make a decision. He won't be playing this week. Bears signed Trace McSorley, former Cardinal, former Raven, former Penn State Nittany Lion, uh, to a contract. He's going to be the third string behind Nathan Peterman. Athletic dude. I mean, he's, like I said, breaking case of emergency type of player in this situation for me. Um, I don't really have an opinion on Trace McSorley, but the thing is that with this injury, where do we go now? What is our where can we go now? If Justin's out for a month, can we say if he comes back that we can truly judge him? I don't think at this point it matters, and that's the sad part of it. And I'm a huge Justin fan, but at this point, I don't think it matters. Um, if he's out for a significant amount of time, I think it might be time to really. And for me myself, I made Justin. Like I said, I have the guy's jersey. I've championed Justin time and time again. But you can't just sit on your ass and not do anything about it. And I think his fifth year option is worth like 19 million, or I got to look that up. But is that something you're going to want to pick up for a guy who's probably going to end up being a backup? And you're probably not even going to, you're probably going to have to fire the whole coaching staff. So are they going to want that? It just doesn't make sense for them to go ahead and do something as drastic as that, something as controversial as that. It just doesn't make sense. It makes more sense for them to say, "Hey, Justin, we're not going to pick you up. You know, better luck somewhere else." And my biggest fear is Justin will find success on another football team. It just won't be ours, and that's, it's been a part of my thought process for at least since maybe week 15 last year. If this really doesn't work out, I just it's something I don't want to think about. I wish him all the success. I want him to succeed. But reality is reality, and you have an opportunity here in this next draft to draft a couple of dudes who are really shining right now, and a lot of NFL scouts are talking about. And yes, I cheered against Caleb Williams, but that's just because I'm a Notre Dame fan. I didn't. There's nobody wishing for Caleb Williams' demise here. Far from it. Far from it. But go Irish. Anyway, if Justin can't come back quickly and he doesn't perform, I mean, it has to be head and shoulders above what we've seen. It's got to go beyond just a 2-game stint. And I know in those 2 games he did really good, rather well, extremely well. I need consistency. So, with that being said, I don't know what's going to happen with Justin as of right now. Tyson Bagent is our quarterback. It's what it is. And the secret Bagent man, he had his struggles for a rookie. He shined in the intermediate game. He was making decisions quickly to get it out. I'm cool with that. That's great. How much of that was, hey man, just adrenaline, let's get this ball out of my hands before I go ahead and get popped? I don't know. But he had some success. Well, we could say that he looked like he looked nervous, but the game didn't look too big for him. It didn't look too big for him. I feel like he could find success in the NFL. In my opinion, I just don't at this moment. What am I going to say? Is Tyson Bagent going to be the next coming of Brock Purdy? That's probably a stretch. That's probably a hard stretch. Everybody wants to compare somebody to somebody. I got to see it. I got to see it. As of right now, I don't think so. As of right now, I don't think so. Even Brock Purdy had a few struggles, but when you look at the San Francisco 49ers compared to the Chicago Bears, what is what is the biggest difference? Coaching, obviously. Coaching. We could say talent. I mean, yeah, you could point to talent, but in my opinion, the glaring difference is coaching. And you got the coaching staff who has prepared Brock Purdy for success. Like they are who they are. They have their identity. They run the football. They pass off of the running game. They use go figure. They use their running game to work off the, to bring the pass in. It's what you came in here as a offensive coordinator. It's what you pretty much said you wanted to do. You wanted to be one of those teams and mirror one of these teams similar to the San Francisco 49ers, but they have no coaching. They don't have the guys to do it. You could say who you want to be all you want, but if you don't have the guys around these players, it's not going to happen. So, secret agent man, good luck. I wish him success. Like, I can't root against this team. I'm not rooting for his downfall, but with everything I've seen, with how many times I've seen a backup quarterback come in, and everybody's like, "Yeah, that's him. He's the guy. He's the guy." I've refused to get my hopes up by any stretch. I don't care if it's his first game. I don't care if he was, a 4-year vet and he's coming in. I refuse to get my hopes up right now. Show me. Just continue to show me. Yeah, let's go ahead and jump into these. I think that's pretty much it for that game. The Darrington Evans, 9 carries, 32 yards. I thought they utilized him rather well. One guy that didn't get utilized enough, I felt like, well, two guys were the tight ends, Tunyon and Cole Kmet. I think Cole was only targeted 3 times, if I'm not mistaken. 2 catches, 3 targets, 2 catches, and 9 yards. And Tunyon, 1 catch for 11 yards on 1 target. It was a weird step back from what I thought we were going to expect against this Minnesota Vikings team. I picked the score to be 30-19. I got half of it right. But that offense just I don't know where we're headed. I don't know who they are. I don't know where the focus is. Like, where do you want the focus of the offense to be? Do you want it to be in Justin? Well, that's fine. But you've seen how it's been a struggle when Justin isn't empty, when Justin is just, strictly trying to go ahead and do it by himself. You need to go ahead and insulate him. And the running game's the best thing that I got to do that. And they just wasn't enough this past week. All right, let's go ahead and get into these interviews. We're going to start with the post-game interview from Matt Eberflus. It's not what I want to follow. Obviously we don't want to hear him talk bullshit, but I don't think he was this time forcibly trying to give us this positive vibe. I think he said a few things that were truthful. He answered a few questions that I felt like, all right, that's something you haven't shown us, an honesty that you haven't been giving us. And it was okay. It was still bad, but it was better than what the hell we were getting the past few weeks that we have been losing. It's not a sunshine and rainbows fest. So without further ado, here we go.
Okay, first of all, I want to thank the fans. They really did a great job. We really noticed it on defense. I know the defensive players were talking about it, on third downs, getting loud, and made it hard for the Vikings offense today. So I really want to appreciate and thank them for that. In terms of injury update, we do have, Justin Fields injured his right hand, and, we're evaluating it right now. We did take an x-ray. The x-ray is negative. in terms of that, and then we'll see where it is tomorrow when we get the MRI. So that's all I know right now. That's all I have on that. Nate, same thing, his ankle did not return. We'll see where it is tomorrow. We'll get more information on that as well. And then Eddie left the game and was questionable. Could have came back, injured his foot a little bit during the game. Didn't feel 100%, but he could have came back.
Remember what I said about Eddie, and obviously there's been reports out there of rumors of a trade, him, Jalen Johnson. But I think that's got to be the last straw for me. I mean, you can't stay healthy. You haven't been making plays. It's something that you gotta, as a team, you gotta say, hey, we can't continue to pay this guy that's not out there performing for us. It just is what it is.
If we needed him due to injury. And that's all I have. I thought that the game, played out, the way we wanted it to in some spots, but we need to do a better job with the ball. We obviously giving the ball away that many times, certainly at -2. That's a hard way to win. And the percentages aren't on your favor, so the defense has to get it out more, and we got to do a better job of protecting it in terms of that. But there's some good things in there, but obviously didn't get the W and disappointed in that. And we'll see where we are with the injuries going forward. With that, I'll open up to questions.
What's your understanding of what they're looking for with the MRI with Justin to see?
Yeah, so with him, he wanted to come back in the game, and that's really all I have, in terms of that. But he just couldn't grip the ball to throw it right now. So we'll see where it is. Like I said, the MRI, that's all I have. We'll know more information tomorrow, and that's where it is.
Matt, what went into the change made it center in the third quarter?
Yeah. So the change of command when he was out there in terms
shitty ass snapping is what went into the change.
made a nice, a few nice throws there, and his mobility is good. I thought his timing was good on a lot of those passes that he threw. So I thought he looked good. I thought he looked good in that one drive, and again at the very end, on that interception. Again, the protection's got to be more solid in that particular play, and he can't put the ball in harm's way.
How did what he did today affect any decision you might need to make as far as him playing more quarterback if Justin's out? Is he still?
Yeah, we'll look at that. We'll evaluate that. Again, we believe in Tyson. We obviously had him at number 2 for a reason, and we feel strong about that.
What's your identity now? Especially now that Justin Fields is out, what's your identity, and is it going to have to change now that Tyson, that Bajan is going to be number 1?
What's going to have to change?
Justin is. We'll see where it is. Like I said, the X-ray was negative. We'll see where he is going forward. But again, we're going to have to really do a great job of evaluating that where it is and putting our guys in position to make plays, and that's what our job is as coaches. So in terms of the identity of it, we're going to have to look hard and see how we can get the ball down the field, score points, and that's the number one thing that we got to do.
What did you say to him before he went into the game, and how would you describe his demeanor?
His demeanor was great. It's always great. He's cool, calm, collected. You could see that out there. He was that way the entire time. I thought he had good command when he was out there in terms of getting the plays and getting the plays out. There was no really snafus there in terms of that with the operation, but we really like where he is. And we just said to him, hey, you got this, and he went out there, and as a backup quarterback, you always know you're one play away from playing the entire game. So that's what he's there for, and that's what he got called on to do.
Yeah, before Justin got hurt, the offense was not going well. Were you guys struggling with the blitz? Was there a difficulty picking up the blitz, or lack of a
clearly
adjustment to the blitzes that Minnesota was?
Yeah, I mean, I'll have to go back and look at the tape, but definitely for sure, there were some protection things in there where we had to, do a better job. It certainly wasn't clean all the time, but I certainly think we got a rhythm a little bit there going. And again, we just got to do a better job with the overall.
Again, their longest drive in the first half consisted of 7 runs from the running backs. Justin had a few runs himself. You had Donta Foreman. You had Justin Fields. You had Donta Foreman again. Another run by Velus Jones. Another run by Donta Foreman. Evans, Foreman. And then, you ended up kicking a field goal because Justin took a sack. it just that's how you develop rhythm. Like that's your identity. If you're finding success doing that, then that's who you are. That's who you should be focused on. Focus on mastering that instead of trying to do things that are just, it's just too much for you right now as a football team, as an offense. It just to me, it's keep it simple. And if running the football is what's getting you there, do that.
Execution there. But again, we gave ourselves a chance to win the game at the end, and we just didn't get it done.
What was the coaching point on the strip sack for Tyson?
It's you always want to have two hands on the ball in there. But again, it's everybody. When you're in the pocket there, you got to do a great job of feeling that and then riding up the pocket to deliver the ball. When you have two hands on the ball, you're obviously the ball security is going to be better there.
On the replay, it seems to me that TJ was able to secure that fumble on the sideline. Obviously, they overturned it. They give you further explanation for why they chose to overturn the initial call?
Yeah, I mean, in a game like today, there's not a bunch of cameras out here, so there's not a bunch of looks. And then when they do overturn the call on the field, there must be a pretty good.
I thought it was
evidence to say
horseshit.
it's clear and obvious for that. So that's where it was, and they just said it was clear and obvious that he was not.
It was clear and obvious that he had the ball, in my opinion.
How would you describe this?
His demeanor's great. Yeah, he's great. He goes, Coach, we'll see where it is tomorrow, and he was positive and he was upbeat.
What do you see out of Deontay Foreman and Darrington Evans coming in both from the cold? What do you say about that?
Yeah, I thought we ran the ball well. In terms of running efficiency, it was
You
good.
didn't do it enough. That's the problem. You didn't do it enough.
When he fumbled that one ball, I told him, hey, that's just one time. I said, you got lucky on that one. And I told him, hey, you just got to make sure you secure it the rest of the way, and he did. I love the way he got down north and south. He really did a nice job with that. He created a lot of those momentum plays for that drive at the end that we had. And, really good. And then Evans, obviously we're lucky to have him last year, so he was, be able to put in the mix in a short notice and be able to operate. So both guys did well.
You guys were in dime a lot more on third down today. What does that allow you to do better in those situations?
You can just variation of coverage. You can do a lot of different things with that, because we got some cover guys back, which was good to see. And, we'll base it on our matchups, every single week to see where we are. If we think we match up better in dime, we'll do that, or we'll just play nickel. But again, that's a week-to-week thing.
DJ Moore had only one target in the first half after such a big week last week. How does that happen?
Yeah, obviously we got to look at that. That's not what we want. We want.
It happens by overthinking. That's how it happens. It happens by you trying to be the smartest motherfucker in the room, Luke Getsy. That's how it happens. He didn't want to target. He even said that's not going to happen often. Well, why wouldn't it happen often? To a guy who's your best, he's the best receiver the franchise has ever seen. Why wouldn't he be over targeted? Why wouldn't it be 10 to 15 targets a game? He's your best wide receiver. And I understand, look, I get you have to spread it around. But to go ahead and say, hey, we're going to limit the amount of targets we put on DJ Moore this week, that's just fucking dumb. That's just dumb. He should have been targeted at every opportunity you could do it. If he's open, get it to him. But you have to look to him. And it just seemed like Justin wasn't. It seemed like there was a understanding between Justin Fields and Luke Getsy of how they wanted to operate it and where they wanted him to go with the football. Almost robotic. Almost robotic. Because he wasn't seeing the guy. He wasn't seeing his check down. He wasn't seeing DJ Moore. It was like he was locked on what they wanted him to do, get it to the other guys. It's hard for me to sit here and try to always defend, because I'll defend Justin when the talent is there. The talent is there. The type of teammate, the type of person I feel like is there to be a success. It's just I don't believe that he's surrounded by the best people to get the best out of him. I just don't believe it. As of right now, it's, you've had a year of Justin Fields. We want to talk about 3 years. Well, here's something that I'll say in defense of Justin Fields. He's had 3 years in the league, right? One with Matt Nagy. On his way out, Matt Nagy threw him to the Wolves. Had a year where this team was tanking. This team wasn't trying to win, got rid of everybody. Who's he going to throw to? Who's blocking for him? We saw that shit. He had 55 sacks last year. Sacked 55 times last year. How you developing a quarterback, we said. And then we get to this, and it's a spasm each and every week with the game plan. You brought in these running backs to run the football. That is the key, in my opinion, to helping Justin Fields and unlocking Justin Fields, relieving him of some of the burden that you're trying to put on him to be everything. And a lot of it is, and like I said, a lot of it goes on. I wouldn't say a lot of it. It spreads out. The blame spreads out. It's not just one person. It's not just Justin. It's not just Luke Getsy. It spreads out. But man, when you have an opportunity, knowing that a team like the Minnesota Vikings, like Brian Flores, like to blitz young quarterbacks and get them off their mark, get them off their game, rattle them, hit them, help them out. You go empty right out the gun, and guess what happens? He gets fucking sacked. And that may or may not, that's probably on Justin. But when you see the rest of the game, how the rest of the game progressed, he was just under fire nonstop. And like I said, that second drive, 7 runs, was the most in any drive the rest of the game from the running backs. Granted, you had, like I said, you had a few with Justin. He broke a couple, but for a few nice pickups, but it doesn't suit him to be that type of player right now. You need to see more of his arm. Regardless of that, I hope we could figure it out coming up this week. God bless you, Tyson Bagent. Like, you're gonna need all the blessings and all the prayers you could get, because I don't know how they're going to fix this when they couldn't fix it with Justin. They haven't been able to do anything to get DJ Moore the ball. I don't know how they're going to convince this kid or prepare this kid to have success.
We want to target him. We want to be able to look, obviously feature him. And I think he had 8 at the end total and 5 catches. But again, we certainly want to target our skill. No question about it.
And how do you fight the feelings that maybe there's some regression to creeping in the locker room after having a win and then coming to have a loss like this? How do you fight people feeling things down after this?
I just think it's the morale of the team's based.
They're
going
to go fucking nuts, Cheeto.
We got guys that have fighters' hearts, and they're always going to be sticking in there together. They were at the game. They saw it. They know what it was. When you go -2 in a football game, it's going to be hard to win. And if we would have flipped that +2, I bet we would have won the game. So to me, it's all about that, and it's all about us doing our detail. Certainly we fought hard in the game. I'm proud of the guys for what they did, but we didn't come out with the victory, and mainly it's because of the ball.
And until you find out about Justin, whether it's tomorrow or whatever, what kind of preparations do you as a head coach have to make to be prepared for the possibility that Bagent might be your guy? Like, even just overnight, what kind of thing? What's going to go into your thinking to be prepared for that possibility?
Yeah, I mean, obviously we have a contingency plan, with him coming back. With Justin, if he is back, that's fine. But if he isn't, obviously we've already, put that plan in place. With Bagent. So you'll see that come to fruition here coming.
Even deeper than that, Tools, he's a Getsy guy. That was post-game from Matt Eberflus. Yeah, Bagent is not only a Poles guy. Actually, I don't know if he is a Poles guy, but I know for a fact he's a Luke Getsy guy. So let's see how the game plan is set up this week as compared to last week, where, it just seemed like they were going to go ahead and bombs away on a team that was constant, like you knew they were spying, you knew they were sending a blitz. They were disciplined. Like you got to give credit when credit's due. They were disciplined. Justin had 40-something yards rushing, but he hasn't really been that dude running the football this year. So I would say let's go ahead and be open-minded a little bit when it comes to Tyson Bagent, right? Yeah, I think if you are able to make him, if he's able to just game manage and you get off the bus running the football and this defense continues to, with all the injuries and such, and I'm going to answer a question here in a minute. Excuse me. Sorry, I had to clear the throat. I'm going to answer a question about Jalen Johnson in a second, but if they could continue to progress, especially on that defensive line, find the quarterback, maybe you could find some success with Tyson Bagent. I don't know if they're going to, get on a roll, start winning games, but maybe you could at least keep the ship somewhat steady while Justin is off getting healed up. One quick question before we go back into interviews. Ivan, how do you feel about Jalen gotta believe we can't trade him, right? At some point, we need to start keeping our good players. I feel like Eddie would be more of a guy that would get traded more than Jalen just because of his youth. And I think they are trying to find a common ground as far as Jalen and what he wants money wise. But I don't see Jalen getting moved. I could see Eddie getting moved. I could see Eddie, sticking around as well and then being moved. But for me, Jalen is more of a keeper than I would say Eddie Jackson at this point. Because I haven't seen the Eddie Jackson that got the big contract since the year after he got or year before he got the big contract. So it's like, that I think that was I think he was just the benefactor of a very good defense, and he came in as a rookie. He was young, electric, and he ended up being in the right place at the right time with a lot of those interceptions. And it just hasn't worked out. So for me, Eddie Jackson, more than Jalen Johnson, should be worried about where he is on this football team, where his place is on this football team. All right, let's go ahead and jump in to this next one. This is Tyson Bagent right after the game. I got to say this, I have my doubts, but the kid held himself. He carried himself well at the podium. He really did. I thought he answered every question to the best of his abilities. I there wasn't an answer that I was like, all right, man. Well, actually, there is one, but I'll give him a break. Anyway, here's Tyson Bagent after the game.
Tyson, on the interception at the end, what did you see there? What were you trying to get done? Obviously, DJ singled up there.
Yeah, kind of just like what you said. DJ Moore, one of the best receivers in the world. One-on-one, anytime we can get that, we like it. Underthrew it there a little bit, and that's on me, and that's something that I got to fix going forward.
Is that a result of the pressure?
No, I think that's just a result of me. Underthrowing the ball. Got to give my guy a chance. And note that, watch the film, and correct it for next week.
Was there any talk with you and Luke in your ear about waiting for 2-minute warning, that situation? Did you guys want to get that checked off before that?
No, there was no communication of that. We're operating well on that drive. We're doing a good job of moving the ball. Both in the
that would be awesome, Daniel.
So, kind of want to keep things rolling. And
he might beat me up first, not believing in his kid 100%. But that would be interesting.
Yeah, it's different. A lot more. You don't pressure as much in the preseason just because you want to see guys play fast and do their specific job. But football is football. Football field's the same size, 11 on 11. You're either going to throw the ball or pass the ball. So I thought I thought it was, similar, but, different with the different pressures that they were showing.
How did you feel coming out of the first regular season game?
Mr. Bajent, you raised a good son. Please don't beat me up if I see you at a Bears game.
Throwing in a pinch like that, how did you feel? How many butterflies? Confident? Were you? Talk to me about how you felt going in.
Yeah, excited. Playing football is my job, so I enjoy playing football. So I was excited to get out there. Obviously, butterflies. You're playing in front of so many people, and the stakes are high. In the NFL, but felt really prepared. Felt like the coaches did a good job of, always preparing all the quarterbacks, week in and week out, just because it's always one play away. So felt good, felt prepared, and excited.
Can you take us through this?
Say it again.
Justin, all after the game, how was he?
He was good. Yeah, he was good. Asked me how I was, told him I was good, and that was the extent of it.
Tyson, can you take us through the strip sack?
Yeah.
That's
so a
it?
little bit
That's
of
all y'all said to each
miscommunication,
other?
But at the end of the day, I got to keep 2 hands on the ball. I got to protect the ball. That's a big job of mine. When I'm out there. So
I like the
keep 2 hands on the ball
accountability.
and be more efficient in that area.
He's very accountable in this interview.
Touchdown in your first drive. How in the world do you reset?
You just got you just got to play the next play. That's something that has always been preached to me, and it'll do you no good kind of harping on the pass or the last play. We got to think forward, move forward, and we had a game to try and win. So there wasn't really any time to sit back and think about that.
How does it feel to get in the end zone?
I felt good. Always a dream for every young kid, every young football player to play in the NFL. So the fact that I was able to, make it here, get in the end zone, it felt good.
That'll probably be something they work on this week. I don't know if
Say it again.
they're going to allow him to make changes, but we'll see.
Yeah, both times when I initially got in, I took snaps with Cody. Second drive going in, took snaps with Lucas. Felt really comfortable with both those guys, and I think everybody, the offense as a whole, did a good job, having my back and rallying around me and, making me feel good, while I was in. So I appreciated that.
Have you predominantly taken more snaps from one or the other in practice, just being with the twos? Who are you taking snaps from?
I do a good job mixing it up. More times than not, I'm taking scout team reps with neither of those guys, but I make sure that, everybody, each center kind of snaps it a little bit different, especially under center. In the gun, it's kind of.
Well, how's that scout team center? Can he snap the ball?
Make sure I mix it up, getting snaps throughout the week, and improve.
We need a guy.
All those guys.
I know that most teams don't practice with their backups a whole lot during the week. How many snaps do you have in practice that weren't with the scout team this week?
A handful whenever Justin has a long play, or he needs to communicate about something that happened on the last play, they'll throw me in there. But most of the time, it's Justin's show, and, we let him get as prepared as he possibly can for the week coming.
A lot of guys describe you as cool, calm, and collected. Is there anything you do to steady your nerve in these anxious moments, or is that just something inside?
I think it just comes from kind of not being okay until I have the game plan down. So kind of, putting the pressure on myself to get everything down, understand, what's going on in the game and what my operation needs to be. And then after that, it just all comes down to playing football and playing fast. So I'd say that's where it comes from.
Moving forward, if you are QB1 next week, how confident are you leading this team to a victory?
Yeah, I'm, obviously very confident in myself, and, nothing changes for me. Since day one, I've been preparing as if I was going to play the whole game. That's just, how I kind of approach the game. I like to know what's
How
going
you
on
should.
at all times, so nothing's really
How you
changed
should.
for this week. Back to the drawing board. Get ready for Vegas this coming week.
Tyson, even though composure is a big part of your game, but this has to be a little bit of a whirlwind for you this whole day. What is the prevailing emotion you're feeling right now after a game like this? That you're just playing, getting in, good things, bad things, everything. What is the prevailing emotion you're feeling after a day like today?
I think more than anything, just wanting a couple of those plays back. Obviously, would have liked a different outcome in the game. I think after you kind of process and think about that, just extremely grateful for, the life I've been blessed with. Not a lot of people get to do what I do and win in victory or defeat. So, I'm just, super thankful for my family, super thankful for, all my past relationships that helped me get to this moment. But, first we like to get back to the drawing board and get a couple of those plays back and correct it, for next week.
How much anticipation of what might happen, or just excitement about what did happen? How much of that is are you feeling?
I think more so than anything, the most important thing in the NFL is to win, and we didn't win. So I think just like what I said
this
before,
was a great answer.
Wanting to obviously win first, and then after that, just being excited that I was able to play quarterback in the NFL in a real game.
That was such a great answer. Such a terrific answer from a guy, a young man who first time out, first time at the podium, after a real game, gives that answer. That's what you want to hear out of anybody that goes up there, especially a quarterback, on your team. Like I said, I think he handled himself really well in this post game interview. No, I really don't have any negatives on him. Like I said, my critique is from what I saw out there, and it's one game, it's a few series, but in my opinion, the way this franchise is headed, I just don't, unless Tyson Bagent leads us to the playoffs, Tyson Bagent will not be QB1 come next season. I'll say that with confidence.
Is your family here?
Yeah, my pop's here. A couple of my friends are here, and my godparents are here. So there was a couple people here for me.
What was that like after the game? Actually getting to see them after you played.
I haven't seen him yet, so I'm gonna go see him after this.
On the touchdown drive you guys did put together, what left an impression on you about that entire march? Obviously started with Deontay and you guys kept it rolling.
I think just all 11, just operating in sync. Throwing the ball, passing the ball, protection was good. I thought we were running the ball well. I thought we got in the end zone on the play before. So anytime you can run the ball effectively, and mix in the passes here and there, especially for a young guy coming in the game, I think that will serve the offense well, and it definitely did on that drive.
Last one. What things do you think you can carry over next week, knowing that this defense didn't prepare for you? Next week they will be if you honestly.
Yeah, nothing changes for me. Whatever the defense shows week to week, we're going to study that. We're going to put it together, dissect it. The coaches are going to put together another great, game plan. The players are going to study it.
That's where I have to stop you there, kid. That was the only flaw. That was the only flaw. Like, it wasn't a great game plan, but I get why you can't say that my coaches suck ass. That's what I'm here for, right? That's what we're here for. But that's the only one. That's the only one, the flaw that I had in this whole interview.
Forward to getting a victory next week.
Touchdown ball?
Somebody did. Somebody had to have. I don't know.
All right, let's read this. Wrong button. Before we go ahead and move on, I got Jalen Johnson, DJ Moore, Cole Kmet, Jonathan Foreman coming up post game in the locker room, and then we'll hear what Matt Eberflus has to say yesterday about what's going to happen moving forward. Ivan, watch the profile that the NFL did on him, and you'll realize this is a diamond in the rough. I say that as a complete non-believer in the kid. I mean, look at, man, at this point, and trust me, if it was a fairy tale, it would be the Chicago Bear way, right? Like it would only have happened to the Bears that way. But I'm kind of leading towards the side of no, he's going to be he's a project as is. You drafted him, you picked him up as such, undrafted. He's going to have his flaws. You're going to need to work with him. And you don't have the insulation to protect them. You don't have enough. Your offensive line has questions. You don't have a center. You're still not knowing who you are as an offense totally. You don't have an identity. I feel like this kid's being thrown to the wolves more than anything. I feel like there's going to be a lot of struggle, obviously he's going to try to do his best to help the team, but I think that there's going to be a lot of struggle unless this entire game plan gets scrapped and they start running the football and all, and blocking guys, and there's a lot to really work on. But from what I've seen the past 6 weeks, this football team, the way it's been operated, is not a football team that's going to help progress the skill of a Tyson Bagent. It hasn't progressed the skill of a Justin Fields. It hasn't progressed anybody's skill really to this point. I wish them all the best. Prove me wrong, Tyson Bagent. Make me a liar. Like that's the best thing you could like. It would be the best thing for me too, as a Bears fan, is if I was dead wrong and Tyson Bagent was the next coming of Tom Brady or Brock Purdy or whoever you want to call him. They would. It's nothing to me to say I was wrong about that. It would be nothing. I would take it in stride with grace. I'm wrong. Brock Purdy's the man, or Tyson Bagent's the man. But we'll see. I'll try to believe. Like I said, have him make me a believer. Make me a believer, Tyson Bagent. Make me a believer. And any quarterback that comes through the doors of Hallis Hall, make us believers, because there will be no more jersey purchases before you fucking win us. I think the next jersey I'll buy will be of a Super Bowl winning quarterback for the Chicago Bears. God, I hope it happens soon, because I don't want to be waiting decades. But that's kind of where I'm at, man. As a fan, as the meatball in me, I don't want to buy the jerseys. I don't want to jump the gun with some of these guys. Prove it to me. Whether it be Tyson Bagent, Justin Fields, Caleb Williams, Drake May, the Cookie Monster, I don't care. Prove it to me out on the football field. Let's get back into these interviews.
DJ, what's your reaction to Justin getting hurt? As might be without him indefinitely now.
Indefinitely.
Like an indefinite
amount
of time. You don't know the
it's
amount
like,
of time.
what you know that we don't know. I mean, you hate to see him go down. All prayers to him. I really don't know the significance of the injury, but Tyson's up right now, so that's what we're about to roll with. Next man up, and we gotta go forward with him.
What do you think was keeping you guys maybe out of sync in that first half when he wasn't there?
All the different looks, all the pressures, and everything that was coming at us. It's hard when you go out there and you think they're going to do one thing and they do a whole multitude of things that they either put in or just had something to beat our play call with.
So a lot of stuff you haven't seen on tape.
No, they just maybe ran it a different way or got to it a different way. So that was just it.
I understand. I understand where you come from, Brother John. You got two, right? You got two, and you don't really have an option with one, in my opinion. But if you want to go ahead and try to solve that tackle, that left tackle problem, you want to solve a pressure problem and go find the best, defensive pass rusher that's out there, be my guest. But in my opinion, you're drafting a quarterback. There's I don't think there's any way around it. Even if, like I said, and it's a wild if, even if they were to pick up Justin Fields' fifth-year option, I still believe they're drafting a quarterback.
How did you think Tyson handled the moment?
Oh yeah, they were great. Tyson came in with a lot of energy. You've seen him out there just running around playing football, and I never seen a pitch and catch like him and Tyler did on the sideline. So I was like, ooh, okay, about to win, and we did, so it's all right.
Is there any feeling of like one step forward, one step back for you guys after the last week of all this?
A little bit. If you look at it that way, we got things to improve. We had a great game last Thursday, but it didn't carry over to today. So we got to go back to the drawing board and somehow figure out what we did on Thursday to take it on to the next week.
Why do you think it didn't carry over, DJ? I mean, it was a monster game against Washington for you and Justin. It was kind of just...
Like I said, it's just a multitude of things that they did on defense that either hindered that or like they just, for instance, there was 3 people on me one play, so I was just like, okay, and then that's basically what it comes down to. Them doing multiple different things and bringing pressure and stuff like that.
Real quick, I want to answer this question. And DJ Moore, I don't know if it's just me, but I feel like he's annoyed by the media's questions. Like at any moment, at any time, it doesn't matter what it is. I don't know if he was like that in Carolina or what. If somebody knows, let me know. But he just seems like, man, hurry up with these damn questions. let me get the hell up out of here. Ivan, hypothetical: if Bajent looks good and wins games while Fields is out, does he stay the starter when Fields is healthy? Good question. I would say if Justin Fields is 100%, Justin Fields is going to be the quarterback. Now, if Justin Fields has any issues gripping the football after this, however long he's going to be out, if there's any doubt that he can't perform, being his throwing arm or throwing hand or throwing thumb, that got dislocated. Yeah, I could see a situation where Tyson Bagent would stay the starter longer, and I could also see a situation where if Tyson Bagent just goes off, well, you can't really, you can't take him out at that point, right? If he wins, let's say Tyson Bagent wins 3 games, right? Tyson Bagent wins 3 games. The Bears are looking good. The offense looks competent. It's been consistent. Yeah, I don't think Tyson Bagent can go anywhere. I don't think you could justify, I don't think you could justify that. I think that would be the cap on Justin Fields. If Tyson Bagent performs, I think that there's a real scenario where that would spell the end of Justin Fields as the starter in Chicago. Winning does that, man. It's and I know people are you want to hate me, fine. I like Justin Fields. I want him to be a part of this team. I want him to be the quarterback. But the truth is hard to swallow sometimes. Real quick. So Ivan, let's say we trade that first for more. We could still be in position to draft a quarterback in 2025. Well, then, I mean, wouldn't that be a situation where you're picking up Justin's option, and you're trying to renegotiate, or I don't know where you would go if you sell, if you sell off that pick, like, so you're going to go another year with no quarterback or no. You'll have a quarterback, obviously, but you'll go with a guy that's a guy and not the guy. I don't see that being, I don't see that being productive or conducive to anything that they're trying to do. I understand like where you're coming from though. But yeah, it's hard to judge right now where they're going to head. But, if you continue to pay attention, the Bears continue to head like this, the writing will be on the wall soon.
Are you with Bagent now going? You had a nice chemistry with Justin Fields, and now you have a chemistry with Bagent, or is that something you got to develop on quick, fast, and hurry?
I don't got to be quick, fast, and hurry. We got to play football. He's a baller, as you can see, so just got to get open for him and just be who I am, and then the rest of the receivers be who they are.
DJ, if it is Tyson going forward for X amount of weeks, what's your role in making sure he's up to speed?
Just being available and open like I've been, and just egging him on and just giving him that encouragement that he can play in this league.
You said he's a baller.
Yeah.
Why do you think that? Like, why do you think he's going to be able to handle however many weeks going forward?
Let's see. You had preseason. Then you had him come in today and just show that he belongs and made impressive throws and was doing well at the line with the line. So it's cool to see.
I thought we played a damn good game. I think it's just winning the situations. But overall, I think we did good. I think we shut out the run. and he was very limited in the pass. So I mean, overall, I think we did solid, but it's not enough for us.
You've watched Bajan from when he's on scout team and stuff.
Yeah.
What have you kind of thought about him, and how do you feel he did today coming in?
I mean, I've always thought he was a confident guy, a talented, confident guy that goes out there and he lets it rip. So I mean, didn't expect anything different. Come out there, be confident, step up, and continue to do what he does.
Jalen, how tough has it been with you guys having to play so many young guys on the same team?
I don't think it's tough at all. I feel like we've been doing that for some years now. So, I mean, just for us, just continue to build, continue to step up in the moments, continue to execute down the stretch when we need it. But, I mean, guys come in and step up each and every week.
What you said it's not enough for you guys.
Yeah, for
where
sure.
Specifically?
I mean, just
You didn't get the fucking win. What do you mean specific? It's not enough. You didn't fucking win. No stats mean shit. Nothing means shit. You didn't win as a football team. I mean,
there ain't no particular area. I mean, just overall, just being better. And, like, I mean, for us, I think what was the only touchdown we gave up was the 2-minute before then. So, I mean, just stuff like that. We want to try to take something like that off the board. But, I mean, again, we hold ourselves to a high standard. So, I mean, just a situation like that, we don't want to give that up at the end before half.
Did you guys take steps as a defense?
Yeah, for sure. I think we came out there, we limited the pass, shut off the run. So, I mean, overall, I think we just want more turnovers. But other than that, I think we took some good steps. But, again, we got to do more.
Coming off last week's win, how do you kind of fight that feeling creeping in of, here we go again?
I mean, you got to reset each and every week. The mindset doesn't change. You got to continue to build. You got to continue to go to work, and that's what it is. I mean, we didn't take any different approach after a win, so just continue to go back to work, watch the film, figure out where we can get better, execute, and continue to push. I mean, nobody's gonna feel sorry for us. So each and every week, we got to reset our mind and attack each week.
Jalen, what was the
just getting everybody on the right page, and
I like that from Jalen.
He's able to command the huddle and
pause it. I like that from Jalen Johnson. He said the truth, flat out throughout. I like that. I liked how his response to some of those questions. The one obviously like winning, like they need to win. Like they don't care about a pat on the back. You did a good job. Like it's time to start winning, executing and winning. But I like the way he handled himself there. I like those answers. The defense did do their job.
Conduct everybody and get everybody in the right places.
When you guys closed to within 19 possessions, what was the kind of life that you guys had, knowing that you were right back in the game?
If nobody asked Dante, where the fuck you been in 4 weeks, I'm gonna go nuts.
We had a lot of life, still in it. Even with all the ups and downs and everything that happened in the game, we still had a chance to win it. And like I said before, I just got to clean up some stuff on my end. I feel like just them shoestring tackles. If I could have came out of one of those, I could have gave us a chance to win the game. So that's something that I want to go look over and figure out how I could be better.
This team had a lot of momentum for the first time in a long time coming into this game.
Mm-hmm.
How frustrating is the slow start, and that in the end you lose coming off of that big win in Washington?
It's frustrating, definitely. I believe in every guy in this locker room, and every guy in this locker room goes out to work every day, puts in the best effort that they can to try to help this team win, and to come on short like that, it definitely sucks. So we just got to try to find a way to be better and get everything cleaned up. And like I said, I think I'm gonna start with going over and figuring out what I could do better to help us. So
I could agree with that, Muck. In situational football, third downs, stuff like that. When they need to pass, like we've seen it this season, where they've sat in zone, they played soft, and they've been beat flat out. So yeah, I agree. Like situations, in certain situations, they need to start getting more physical. They need to start challenging teams, or else they're gonna fucking just walk all over you. So absolutely.
Everybody knew Brian Flores was going to dial up a ton of pressure from different areas. What was the plan to take care of that, and how do you feel like you did executing on that plan?
We knew what to expect coming in. I think we could have did a better job. I don't think it was terrible, and I think that's just collectively on offense we could have did better. But like I said, they had a great game plan, but I feel like we still had moments where we could have gassed them. Like I said, I put a lot of that on me just because I feel like a lot of shoestring tackles that I feel like I should have came out of. So I feel like if I can come out of some of those, probably change some of the drives that we had. So
Yeah, I mean, we just got to keep going. It's tough.
Real quick before we hear Cole, I wish he got more touches. I really do. You saw the way he started building momentum. When they started getting him the football, he was breaking tackles. Hold on, real quick. Excuse me. He was breaking tackles. He was running with anger. He running with a purpose. I just don't know why they went away from it. I don't know why they wouldn't want to feed that dude. And like I said again, and you guys are gonna get sick of it. Where the fuck's he been? Where has he been? I'm sure he could have helped Khalil Herbert. I'm sure he could have helped Roshan Johnson. Imagine that three-headed monster. The way he runs, those three running backs should be feasting. Feasting. It should have been that way since week fucking 1. Those three running backs should be eating every fucking game. And they don't. They don't. Why? You're gonna have to ask Luke Getsy. That's not. I don't run the offense. I just critique it, and it's right now. It's frustrating because you can see you can see where it could be successful, and then you just get this. You get what they put out for you on Sunday. Here's Cole Kmet.
It's tough. We've made good progress, I thought, the past couple weeks, and obviously not up to the standard of the past 2 weeks today. So we just got to regroup here and do what we've always done and get back to our process and just get back to work.
Having spent the last 6 months around Tyson, what gives you confidence that he can kind of step in and steady the ship for you guys?
Well, confidence in himself, and that's important in the quarterback. And you can hear that in the huddle, like I mentioned. You can hear that up on the line.
That's been thrown around there, that word confidence.
And he's got conviction when he throws it, So, I told him keep letting him rip after the game, and he's going to make mistakes here and there. And, I know he wishes he kind of had that one back at the end, had some pressure in his face. But, yeah, I mean, he's got a ton of self-confidence, and that everyone else can feel that in the huddle.
Not that you don't have confidence in him, but just to see.
I don't know, Bob.
Yeah, I mean,
he's really been playing so well.
Yeah, no, it's tough. It's tough, and obviously we should have got things going better there in the first half. But yeah, I mean, it's tough. I mean, that's when you got your dude at quarterback and he goes down, and a guy like that, it's really game plan specific for a lot of things. It takes away some of the things that we have on the call sheet and whatnot, and you kind of just have to adjust from there, and makes it difficult. But it is what it is, and that's part of the NFL.
Also curious, just it would have been a long time since you guys had some momentum coming out of Washington.
Yeah.
Just how disappointing is the slow start and ending up losing today?
Got to be up there.
Yeah, it's really disappointing.
Extremely.
We felt like we were getting somewhere offensively, and we didn't hold up our end of the bargain today. Defense played great today, and we actually allowed points offensively. So,
God, I just hate. I'm sorry. I can't stand hearing it again. I've been beyond this. Like, I don't want to hear that. I was hoping never to hear that again. The defense played great because our offense. If our offense could do something, it's PTSD. Call it PTSD from years of being a Bears fan and the struggles of this offense.
Look, at the end of the day, we just got to erase it, move on from it, and look to get better this upcoming week.
Assuming it is Tyson, at least for a couple of weeks after this, what do you guys do during the week to help make sure he's prepared on Sunday?
Sorry,
what do you DJ do during the week to help?
Yeah, well, he does a good job of being a guy whenever it's in meetings, asking questions, all those things, and they do their developmental periods at the end of practice there and whatnot. So. Yeah, I mean, that's just part of the life of a backup QB. You're limited on reps during the week, but when your name's called, you kind of just got to make it happen and make what you have with the situation. So,
Cole, if Tyson's got to go for a little bit, what have you learned about him for the past few months that tells you he can handle it?
He's called self-confidence, and I think that's evident. Just being around him since I met him, starting out in camp. So, I think he's got a lot of self-confidence. He's got conviction in what he does and what he says, and we're gonna if he's got to take over here for a little bit, we're gonna rally around him and make this the best situation possible for him.
Well, I mean, I would hope as a team, there's nothing you can do. Justin, not there. You can only rally around the guy that's there. who's available.
All right, so I have some injury updates for you. So as I said yesterday, Justin Fields dislocated his thumb. X-rays were negative. We did the MRI today. There's no timetable right now, and he's going to. It's really going to come down to grip strength and natural swelling that occurs with this injury. So we should know more at the end of the week. Is he going to play this week? It looks to be doubtful right now for that, but again, we'll see at the end of the week, and we'll be able to make that known at the end of the week. So that's where it is with that. And then Nate Davis suffered a high ankle sprain. He'll be out this week as well, and that's going to be a week-to-week deal with Nate Davis. And then from last week, we had Terrell Smith. He has mono, and he's going to be out 3 to 4 weeks with that illness. In terms of the senior defensive analyst, we have hired Phil Snow, the former defensive coordinator of the Carolina Panthers. Obviously 40-some years of experience in college and in pro, and been a defensive coordinator at both levels. And we certainly welcome him and his experience. What he will be doing is our advanced scouting. So along with our personnel department, they do the personnel side of it. Obviously give us updates on the personnel, on tendencies and all those things, but he'll be doing advanced scouting.
He's a friend of, or he was the suggestion of Rod Marinelli, the Phil Snow. So obviously Rod Marinelli was a confidant of Matt Eberflus. He's going to listen to him. Rod Marinelli was here with us. I thought he did a solid job with the defense when he was here with us. He, as a head coach, well, you know all about that. But I'm skeptical of these outside, because they essentially are outside hires. Like, you went out and sought Rod Marinelli's advice, and Rod Marinelli pretty much made this decision for you. And granted, you could have said no, but I just feel like these things happen too often with the Chicago Bears. These types of, Bill Polian, bringing in contractors to come in and run your franchise, and now we're doing it to run our team, or run our defense. And like I said, I'll say this just with a little bit of skepticism, even though I like Rod Marinelli. I don't know how this is going to work out. I mean, at the very least, you gave a guy a job, but I don't know how this is going to work out or what it's going to help. They'll have to go ahead and point us in that direction, in the coming weeks after it's played out. But as of right now, I guess he helps you out. I guess he helps you prepare. But other than that, I don't know the advantage. Oh my goodness, damn it! I'm sorry, folks. Did it again. We'll get to the end of Kokomet. There we go.
Dislocated his thumb. X-rays were negative. We did the MRI today. There's no timetable right now, and he's going to. It's really going to come down to grip strength and natural swelling that occurs with this injury. So we should know more at the end of the week. Is he going to play this week? It looks to be doubtful right now for that, but again, we'll see at the end of the week, and we'll be able to make that known at the end of the week. So that's where it is with that. And then Nate Davis suffered a high ankle sprain. He'll be out this week as well, and that's going to be a week-to-week deal with Nate Davis. And then from last week, we had Terrell Smith. He has mono, and he's going to be out 3 to 4 weeks with that illness. In terms of the senior defensive analyst, we have hired Phil Snow, the former defensive coordinator of the Carolina Panthers. Obviously 40
Let him know,
years
George.
of experience in
Let him
college and in
Make
pro.
sure you strap up.
And been a defensive coordinator at both levels. And we certainly welcome him and his experience. What he will be doing is our advanced scouting. So along with our personnel department, they do the personnel side of it. Obviously give us updates on the personnel, on tendencies and all those things, but he'll be doing advanced scouting for our defensive staff. He'll be giving summaries of all the situations during the course of the week, and then he'll be here in the building the entire week, and he'll be here Monday giving us those reports, Tuesday giving us those reports as we do our game planning, and that'll be certainly helpful to our defensive staff. Is he going to be at games, on headset and all that? No, he's not. He's not going to be at the games. He's not going to be there functioning as a coach during game day. He'll simply be an analyst that's going to be helping us out for the advanced scouting. So with that, I'll open up to questions.
Justin gonna need surgery.
Like I said, at the end of the week, we'll know more. Right, it is where it is right now, and we'll know more at the end of the week.
Did the MRI show anything? Anything feedback on with that?
I did not get any feedback. I mean, I got, we know where it is right now, and really it's going to come down to the grip strength, and we'll see where he is at the end of the week, and that's all we have right now.
I was debating on, and you're absolutely right, Muck. I was debating on putting under like a filter or like an underwater overlay above him before I went ahead and made this clip. But yeah, every time I hear him now, it's just he sounds like he's drowning, searching for answers.
He's in there working with the trainers right now, so we'll see.
Doubtful is doubtful, but is there a glimmer of possibility that he could play? Has that been ruled out, or
No, that's not been ruled out. It's doubtful. So, again, like I said, for this week, it looks like it's doubtful, but we'll see at the end of the week and see where it goes. I know he's a fast healer, so we'll see where it is.
Are you preparing for strategically, are you preparing for an extended absence here where you have to have Tyson ready for several games probably?
We're always preparing for that for sure, because it's like I said yesterday, it's just one play away.
What are you gonna
They're
do?
one play away from being in there, and Tyson's earned that spot with his opportunity that he's created himself, and we're certainly going to do that going forward for sure.
When you talk about it'll come down to grip strength,
Yep.
is that in terms of whether or not he can play or whether or not you decide to take the next step and explore surgery?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the week, we're going to figure that out. Grip strength is, grip the ball, throw the ball, hand the ball off, everything a quarterback does.
Purses. He sells purses.
At the end of the week.
At the end of the week, is that because you just need more time to evaluate, and then also a roster move would be necessary by Saturday? Is that why you're?
Yeah, we just want to give it time. Like I said, there's natural swelling that occurs in that, and we want to just give it time. Give it time to see where it will go. Give us the best opportunity to see where it is, and then we'll make that decision.
Know if anything's torn in there?
Like I said, it's everything's looking where it is.
I hate
In
when
terms
they
of
do
good.
that.
It doesn't look like it's a negative thing, but we'll see where it is. And again, I don't have all the information yet because it's not there. We don't have the information yet.
He said we'll know more at the end of the week. As of right now, he is doubtful. I get you're trying to find something, like if it's he's going to need surgery or what, but at the end of the week, I mean, it means at the end of the week at a certain point.
The play he was hurt, what was your kind of assessment of just the play operation before he was hurt in terms of alternative options that were available to him and now how you would coach through that sequence?
Yeah, again, I'm not going to get into all that detail of that. I just know that, him being able to get rid of the ball a little bit faster, we would certainly like that so he wouldn't take the hit. That's what I'll say about the end of the play, for sure.
You should say it definitively, not just for that play alone. That's the answer. Period. Every single time we want Justin to get the ball out quicker. That's it. Sometimes I feel like he doesn't want to step on toes, and I feel like it's part of the reason why I feel like maybe he was fired. But I just tell the truth. That's what we want. That's what it's supposed to be. Justin needs to get the ball out quicker, and even including on the time he got hurt, he needs to get the ball out quicker. How hard is that?
And again, he just kind of fell on it funny, and that's what happened. So.
Yeah, what was supposed to happen on the first play of the game?
On the first play of the game? Yeah, so they were a 6-man up, right? They were all across, right? We were in empty formation, and we did the right thing in terms of sending the line one way. Rip Liz the line, so we sent it to the right. Let the outside guy go free, and the ball's supposed to be delivered right there to. It's an outside in read, so it's KB to DJ. So we just got to float away from the pressure, right, and deliver the pass.
And on the Justin Fields interception at the end of the first half, Deontay Foreman ended up picking up Daniil Hunter one-on-one, and he was putting some pretty good pressure on. Was that supposed to happen, or what was supposed to happen with Daniil Hunter on that play?
Yeah, I would just say that, when we're working through the details of the protection.
Yeah, real quick. Yeah, Rock, I agree. Like the realistic thing is he could be out a month, 4 to 5 weeks, maybe even longer if there's, excuse me, if there's things that didn't heal properly. So it's something it's a very scary thought for me. Being a Justin supporter, I want him to do well, that he could be gone for a long time, but it is what it is.
Protections there, we just got to be on the details, so if we're squeezing it, right, or if we're working out to a defensive back, we got to make sure we're on the details on that, and that's just really what it was in that play.
Is Darnell Wright supposed to pick up that guy, or is he, or, okay.
Yeah, we always want we always want to be able to have for the most part, have our bigs block the bigs, and then our backs block the perimeter players, and that's what happened on that one.
Matt, on the TJ Edwards fumble that wasn't a fumble that they overruled, you said there wasn't a lot of cameras out there today in a game like today. Is that usual for a 1 p.m. game, or were there fewer cameras yesterday?
No, that's usual for an early game like that. That's not a 325 game or a night game. You got to have a lot more cameras there, so you're able to get better views. That home game right there, that's a lot of cameras on our sideline as opposed to the other sideline.
So Matt,
We thought that was a good decision, not to, because they took so long really to look at the play, and they overturned it, so they had to have clear and obvious evidence there. So that's why we just stayed with where it was, and they had clear and obvious evidence.
So Matt, what were some of the positives you saw to Tyson that if you had to go with him this week, that you can look forward to, or that you'd like to see him work on?
Yeah, I thought he really worked through it. Obviously the first series or so wasn't ideal. I think that you give him credit. He's a backup quarterback, a young guy. I think he came in there and had poise. You're dealing with a team that pressured a ton during that game, and I thought he really settled in and had poise, and he showed that during that touchdown drive. And there was a lot of good things that come out from Tyson in that game.
I was just looking at Phil Snow's bio, and I'm trying to see if you worked with him at any point, or how you know him. How do you guys connect? Do you at all?
Not to be confused.
Yeah, we connected
with
through Coach
Al
Rob.
Snow.
That was many years ago. At the combine, and those things. But certainly a connection was made there, and he's a great person. He's very humble. He's works well with others. He gives sound advice, and he's done a good job where he's been in terms of having good defenses for sure.
Schematically, does he believe the same things you believed in?
He does, yeah, he does. But what's kind of cool about it, he also has other experiences, which is really cool. Because he's been, at Baylor, been in college, done different things, different pressure looks. So it's been pretty cool to talk to him here.
Yeah, but to me, the switch at center, Cody came out after Tyson's first series. Why did that switch occur right away if that was the plan to have Lucas out there with Tyson?
Well, during the game, obviously, we said that, Lucas, came in because we wanted to settle Tyson down, and it was good to do that. I thought it really did help, settle him.
Okay. No. Lucas came in because you had enough of seeing Cody Whitehair at center. Again, he's taken some steps with how he's addressed the media in recent weeks, but again, don't fucking bullshit me. Don't bullshit us. We've watched the game. We know. Phil's telling you. He's not cutting up tape to show you what the fuck's wrong for no reason. Cody Whitehair's a problem. It's been a problem. He got moved because he wasn't getting the job done. That's exactly what it was. It's not familiarity with Lucas. It's not a veteran presence to calm him. That's bullshit. The guy wasn't getting the job done, and you put a guy in there who you were hoping could be better than the guy you had in.
Down a little bit. And again, he's got more experience, and that's where it was, and that's what we decided to do it.
Matt, with Justin, before the injury, part of the game that he played, he was 6 for 10, 58 yards. What was your assessment of how he played before he got hurt?
Yeah, it's when you're looking at a performance of anybody, it always comes down to 11 guys. So it's not just Justin. I thought that our offense needed to perform better as a whole up to that point, and we needed to do a better job in protection, needed to do a better job, in our execution phase of it.
Okay, let's going back to Cody. Cody's been bad. You're right. Cody's been bad last year. Cody's been bad throughout the whole year. Rock, DG. Cody's been bad. I got another one for you. Cody's been bad for about 4 years, three to 4 years. Cody's hasn't been good for a long time. We've been talking about the insignificance of Cody Whitehair's play for a while. The non-impact. Just a guy out there. And I'm getting animated not because of your question, just because that's the truth. Cody hasn't been anything, and we've held on to him, and we paid him, and we've held on to him, and we paid him. And he's not holding up his end of the bargain.
So it really doesn't really come down to just one guy. So I just really feel that when you're talking about the whole group, we all need to execute better.
When you guys do player grades and evaluations, you grade individual players. So what did you see in Justin's performance yesterday?
Yeah, like I said, it comes down to everybody. It comes down to everybody during that time, and it's important that you evaluate the whole picture, when dealing with all 11 guys.
Now, when you looked at the film, what did you think were the biggest causes of those protection issues? I mean, was it guys not being prepared or not communicating?
No, the guys were prepared. I just think we needed to do a better job, the executing in the moment, so that we know that they're going to give us a bunch of different looks, and we need to make the right calls at the line of scrimmage. And we got to do a better job in the protection on those two particular plays.
On the fumble that Tyson lost that got returned, he said that there was a miscommunication there. What's your understanding of kind of what was discombobulated on that whole sequence?
On the fumble?
Yeah.
Yeah, so, on that one there, we have to do a better job of, you're talking to the same thing really, is that the protection needed to be solid inside, and it wasn't, and he did a good job evading the first guy. I thought he really did a nice job there. And then, they had a secondary player coming off the edge. And once he felt that guy right there, he should have just kept two hands on the football, and then taken the sack. He tried to get it out to Mooney, and when he did that, that's when the fumble occurred.
Just to clarify, the Fields had the MRI, has had the MRI performed already? Okay, and there's no results.
Yes, sir.
With Bajan, not a lot of undrafted rookies from D2 schools have been asked to do much in the NFL. What about him makes him, in your mind, special enough or unique enough to actually put this on him? Because, you went out of your way to say he's earned this opportunity.
Yep.
Real quick before he answers, I'd say what his teammates have said, the C word. No, not Shane's C word, but confidence. Confidence. He's poise, confidence. That's all you've heard. I see a guy. I seen a kid who had a lot of good things going for him, and then a lot of bad things going for him. I like I said, you're gonna need to see more to make a full assessment. But if you're gonna ask me, confidence and poise were probably the two things that his teammates were telling me that would lead me to that answer.
It would be easy to go to a veteran and say, we're gonna play the veteran. Why him?
Just what he showed during training camp, what he showed to this point, his work habits, his functional intelligence, on the football field, his acumen in the classroom, being able to operate is very high.
Fucking great.
He's
great
able to chunk a bunch of
M.
information together and then
Great
simplify it in
fucking
his
point.
mind to understand concepts. I think his release is really quick. I like that. I like how he sees the field. He's very, very patient, very poised in there, and it's a good opportunity for Tyson.
It's natural.
This question right here, or this point right here by Double M, trying to figure out how Getsy was moving the pocket with Bajan. He should have been doing that earlier with Fields. Scratching my head again. Like you're 100%, 100. Like what happened in these 10 days that made them say, hey, you know what? what we were doing that led us to, our most successful offensive performances, in a while, for sure of this year. We're going to go ahead and get away from that. We're going to go back to things that, you know, that haven't been successful with us. Empty sets on first down, not running the ball when you should be running the ball, not keeping that defense, in check, holding them honest. They're out there blitzing all fucking day. Well, they're blitzing all fucking day because you're not running the ball. I digress. Good point, Double M.
You're gonna have to simplify your playbook a little bit, though, right?
Not necessarily.
Okay.
No.
Matt, do you have any more update on Braxton Jones?
Yeah, we don't have an update on Braxton. Right now, I know his window could start. Right now, we just don't have an update. We're not there yet.
Matt, what happened with Kyler? He came out late before the game, was kind of working with trainers. What was going on with him?
Yeah, he just needed to had more time with the trainers to get ready. That's all we have right there. And again, it was news to me when he was in there, so I just found out he didn't need more time to work with the trainers at that time. So.
And that was it for the interviews. I'm looking for the silver lining, and I thought we had it last week, with that win against Washington. We all thought we were possibly turning a corner, taking another step forward. Excuse me. But looking back again at what happened this past Sunday, it just felt it felt like you got a little arrogant with how you thought you were going to start to operate. Again, the question was asked, and it was a good question. It was a good question. One of the better questions the Chicago media has asked is, have you found more success, or because of you guys using a lot more 12 personnel, have you found that success? Because of that, and it's a yes. And what you did was you just overthought. I felt like you started just trying to be the smartest guys in the room. Didn't want to go to DJ Moore a whole hell of a lot because you were going to outsmart him. Yeah, he was getting triple teamed, but fucking tell me Stephon Diggs doesn't get triple teamed. You know what I mean? Tell me Devontae Adams hasn't gotten triple teamed. And I'm not saying to throw it in the triple team, but I'm saying that it happens. Sometimes it happens. You know what I'm saying? But you can't be scared to go ahead and go and perfect what has made you successful, even if it's not your quote unquote identity. It's what is successful? What do you do right? What is your best traits? To be honest with you, who wasn't fired up seeing Khalil Herbert and Roshan and hell, even Curry run all over Washington? You saw Tevin 10 yards downfield. You saw Nate Davis 10 yards downfield, bullying motherfuckers. And what happened? It led to the play action. They were able to move the pocket. Justin got out. They had to stay honest. Going into this week, excuse me, we got the Las Vegas Raiders. Raiders, again, and I keep saying this, and it's hard to defend poor football. But I still believe that this is a winnable football game with the personnel that we have. I thought this past week was a winnable football game, which it should have fucking been. In my opinion, you held the team under 200 yards passing. You held them under 50 yards rushing. That's good defense. But your offense decides to go ahead and put itself on the shelf for a week. You can't do that, man. You can't do that. I'm not scared of the Raiders. I'm thinking that this Bears team is going to get to the stadium running, get off the buses running. this Sunday. I'd hope, I can't say I think, I'd hope that would be the point of emphasis going into this Raiders game, because you have a young quarterback now who, has shown some nice things, but has shown also that he can make mistakes as a young quarterback. I think you need to protect him at all costs, and you got some horses, man. Dante Foreman and Darrington Evans. I thought Darrington Evans, for a guy who just off the practice squad of Miami, and yeah, he was with us last year. I thought he ran pretty well. Foreman was the guy that I really was pissed that they didn't continue to feed. But nonetheless, that's what you're gonna have to do in order to get the open looks that you want in the passing game. And you're gonna have to suck up your fucking pride. You're gonna have to, you're going to have to be that guy that says, "Yep, we're gonna run it. We're gonna just continue to hand it off." When the opportunity presents itself, when we get into third and short situations, then we're gonna go ahead and use that play action, get a big play. We get into a second and medium, boom, play action. Then we get a big play. That's how this team should operate, but it doesn't. It doesn't operate that way, guys. I'm going to go ahead and make it quick here with my predictions. I'm fearful. I don't think the Bears are going to get blown out, but I think they're going to continue to drop the ball when it comes to finishing football games. I think it's going to be a close game. I think Tyson Bagent is decent. There will be a turnover, but I can see the running game being the focus here with a young quarterback. So I expect 25 plus rushes, and that for me, that'll be with everybody. I don't think Tyson Bagent is going to be getting any designed runs, but if he does scramble, I could 25 plus rushes would be where I'm targeting, especially, like I said, a younger quarterback. Raiders win 23-20. I don't have any scenario where I could see the Bears pulling it off, especially after an abysmal loss this past week. They've taken a step forward to take a bunch of steps backwards, and you're trying to find out what we are. Who are we? Are we a running team? Are we Justin Fields team? Like, what is this team good at? Right now, I could say this. Right now, the running game is your best bet, but that's just me. 23-20 Raiders will win. Guys, I'm Ivan Vargas. Thank you for joining me here tonight. There will be no Keeping It Fantasy. Like I said, shout out to Jacko. I hope you get better. I hope you feel better soon. I appreciate everybody for being here, joining me. I know it's been a rough season so far with all the expectation, all the hope. It's all come crashing down on us in a way that it's a tough burden to bear getting through this season. No pun intended. But hey, I'll be here next week. I'll be here next week trying to deliver you guys the best Bears content that I can. I appreciate it. Again, I appreciate everything you guys have done. Showing up is a big part of it. So thank you for showing up. Thank you for all your questions. Thanks for all the comments and all the support. Don't forget, tomorrow, NBC Sports Chicago's own Kenneth Davis will be on the show with the guys, chopping it up, talking all things Bears. Tomorrow night, 7:30 on Keeping It 100 on the Tate Never Lies Network. And, of course, Cars Keys will be coming up on Thursday night, with Cars giving you all the 411 on the analytical side and giving you his opinion about what's been going on with this team as best as he can. And, we appreciate all the support you guys show each and every one of our shows. But all right, guys, Anyway, Jacko, feel better. I'm Ivan Vargas. Make sure you go ahead and like, share, and subscribe to the Tape Never Lies Network. Join the Patreon at www.thetapeneverlies.com. Peace.